Hey, what's good, everyone? It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing good. Everyone's doing fine. Welcome to the show, guys. It is Sunday morning where I am. I hope you're all good. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, look, let's get straight into it. There's been a number of names that I've been hearing about over this last couple of days. A number of players that have been on the radar for Manchester United. A number of scouting reports. Manchester United scouts have been spotted at various grounds around Europe looking at certain players. Now, make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. We're very good at scouting at the moment. We have a lot of scouts all around the world. We're scouting everywhere. So let's see what happens and let's see how that materializes, of course, guys. So, yes, Manchester United do play on Tuesday. I mean, it seems like forever. It does seem like forever, to be honest with you, but there is a lot of news coming out of Manchester United in regard to some players. First, before I start, let's not forget to read something. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Now, let's get straight into it, shall we? In regards to Manchester United and these names that we are hearing about. These names that we're hearing about, of course, look, you know what? There's going to be a lot of names that we're going to hear about. And one of the names that propped up over this last 24 hours, 48 hours or so, was a guy who is highly rated in Argentina. His name is Ian Sabrebre. His name is Sabrebre. Easy for you to say. Sabrebre. He is a River Plate player, plays for River Plate in Argentina, and he is 18 years old. He is a right winger. Obviously, he's got a very, very low price tag. His price tag is 1.2 million euros, which is absolute nothing. I mean, that if you were going to give a player, right, in regards to Ineos, and you're going to say they're going to cost 1.2 million, you're going to be like, they're going to be like, they'll snap your hand off. I don't care how he plays, who he is, or whatever. Under 21 Argentinian international is Sabrebre. Of course, guys, and he is a left winger, centre forward, and right winger. Primarily a right winger, a left footer though, so he can be inverted, but he can play the left winger as well. And more importantly, he can also play as a centre forward, which is very good as well, guys. Absolutely. He did start off as a Chilean international in Chilean under-17, but changed his allegiance to the Argentinian under-20. River Plate player, of course, we all know about River Plate. We all know about the conveyor belt of players that River Plate do produce, of course, guys. There's a number of players out there. But Ian Sabrebre is a player that, Subiabre, is a player that has been capturing the interest over this last, 48 hours. It is a player, by the way, I mentioned in the summer again, if you're watching this show, it is another player I mentioned months ago. But it is now... resurfaced. The news has resurfaced in regards to this Argentinian player. And look, you know what? I like these type of players. I do, because you know what? Look, I know it's not expensive. We have nothing to lose in regards to that, but they're highly rated. 6 caps, 3 goals for Argentina under 20. He's obviously got something about him, you know what I mean? So I would say that this is a very interesting signing. It's a very interesting player, and it's a signing that could happen, and it is a signing that it's a player that we should be aware of and be looking out for in the summer, guys, because you will hear a lot about his name, and perhaps might even be more pronounced better, of course. Now, over the last few months, guys, I have basically, let me have a look at this. 1 second. Yeah. I have been speaking about this player. Okay. His name is, of course, let me just get it up for you. Samu Akahawa. Now, Samu Akahawa is a Porto player that we mentioned here a number of weeks ago on the show. Played against Man United this season. I think he scored a goal, didn't he? He scored a header. The interest for Agahawa has again resurfaced, and I'm just bringing you this little bit of news in regards to Agahawa. A very, very interesting player, a very decent player as well, and I would say that it's something that I would say that is a different type of striker to what we're being linked with. He is a different type of striker, in my opinion. He is. And I would say that I would like a player like this at Manchester United. A powerful, holds the line very well, can score goals, But again, it represents a risk because the problem with Agahawa is the fact that he is 50 million euros. He's going to be 50 million euros. So that is a bit of an issue going forward, of course, guys. So that is a player that obviously we are interested in. But the price tag, you're looking at the price tag and you're looking at, he is already a Spanish international, of course. He is only 20 years old. He looks a lot older than he is, but he is only 20 years old, believe it or not, guys. But he is a very, very decent striker. One of the up-and-coming strikers in Europe, of course, guys. But what I would say is this, is that in regards to certain players around, around Europe and stuff like that, I would say that, we have to look at the more cheaper option that is going to be happening, of course, I believe. We have to look at something that is going to be a little bit more cheaper, a little bit more cheap and cheerful in regards to that, because Agahawa will go for about 60 million. Would you spend 60 million, you guys? Would you spend 60 million on Agahawa? What do you think about it? I want to know your opinions on that. At the end of the day, very, very decent player, but it is the price tag that we are looking at, of course. Let's get through some of your comments, of course. Good morning, Sal. Big up. Francisco or nothing. It's Francisco or nothing. I don't know about that, Davaru. I don't know about that. Kenny, good morning, Sal. How you doing, my friend? Hope you do. Good morning. Big up everyone, and Eid Mubarak, everyone, of course, guys. Thank you so much, brother Triple M. Big up everyone, and Eid Mubarak, of course. Happened Mubarak to all the Muslims I know. Thank you so much, Kenny. Big up yourself. Happy Eid to us with big up, of course. Absolutely. Happy Eid, of course. Absolutely. It is today, of course, guys. It is today. It is Eid today. But I'm going to get into something very obviously talk about transfers today, of course, guys. Let me just get this down. So, I'm just reading this tweet, guys. 1 second. Okay, so that is one player that at the end of the day, that is another player on the conveyor belt. But you know what? Agahawa has been linked to Manchester United for a long time. Trincao and Agahawa are different players, guys. They're different type of players. You know what I mean? Trincao is a player that Man United are interested in, of course. Ruben Amram is interested in Trincao. Trincao is a player that Man United has been on Man United's radar for a little while. The reports were coming out of Portugal a few weeks ago. Thank you so much, Irfan. Nima back to you too, my friend. The reports were coming out of Portugal a few weeks ago in regards to Trincao. Trincao's a very good player. Will probably fit our system a lot better than a lot of players. But a couple of other players that I want to mention today, I want to mention for you, if you don't mind. Not least is this player, right? Morten Hjulmand. Morten Hjulmand is another one that Man United were interested in over the summer, of course, and we were looking at him. And since Ruben Amram has walked into this club, we have been interested in many Sporting Lisbon players. Now, Man United would be said to need a CDM. Obviously, Casemiro could be leaving the football club, which is interesting, of course, guys. So Morten Hjulmand is a player that is Manchester United, one of Manchester United's favourite players to replace Casemiro, and obviously he knows Ruben Amram very well. He is only a 25-year-old, but has been around the block a little bit. Defensive midfielder, 15 caps for Denmark, 1 goal, and he is he would set you back around 45 million euros. Now, a lot of money again. We're not going to sign all these players, but central midfielder, defensive midfielder, Hjulmand, who's been mentioned a lot on this channel, has been resurfaced. The interest in him has resurfaced, and you have seen news about Hjulmand over this last couple of days. And you will see more during the summer as well. Ruben Amram is looking into bringing a couple of reinforcements, in particular players from Sporting Lisbon. Surprise, 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 surprise. He's looking to bring in some players from Sporting Lisbon, of course. So you know what? Don't be surprised if we do get some of those players through the door, guys. Don't be surprised at all, my friends, at all. Now, another player Manchester United have been looking at, guys, and have been spotted, and I'm talking about scouts. Scouts, Manchester United scouts have been spotted scouting certain players around Europe, guys. And one of the players is this gentleman here, guys. This gentleman here. His name is Andrija Maksimovic. Andrija Maksimovic is an attacking midfielder, a 17-year-old attacking midfielder who plays for Red Star Belgrade, of course, guys, in Serbia. He is only 17, attacking midfielder, and he is only 10 million euros. Guys, earlier in the week, we were talking about, the Balkans, about signing from the Balkans, getting a cheap deal from these countries, because you can get players out there who are good, who are cheap, a little bit like Nemanja Vidic. It hasn't always worked out, of course. I remember, Toxic, who came through, of course, and didn't really make it. But he is one player that is showing huge interest. He has 6 caps for Serbia, not the Serbia under-20, the Serbia national team. Maksimovic is well and truly a very, very high prospect player, I would say. A very high prospect player, and it's a player that interests Manchester United immensely. Only 10 million euros. He's a left footer, can play attacking midfielder, can play right winger, can play central midfield. Guys, this guy is an absolute star. And we have interest from Genoa. Genoa are also interested in Maksimovic. So if we're going to do a deal with Maksimovic and Red Star Belgrade, we're going to have to act quickly. Of course, guys, we're going to have to act very quickly. And Maksimovic is high on Manchester United's radar, with scouts being spotted in Serbia, of course, guys. So that is something very, very interesting there. Indeed, guys. Indeed. And look, guys, there are a number of other players that Manchester United have been interested in. And I would say that there are a number of alternatives for Manchester United. And, Manchester United have had scouts around Europe, as I've been saying. They've had scouts around Europe. Not least yesterday, we had some scouts scouting a player. His name is, if I get this right, Asane Diao. Asane Diao. Now, Asane Diao plays for Como, I believe. I believe he plays for Como, Asane Diao. Yep, he plays for Como. And scouts of Diao were at the Como versus Empoli game. I believe it was yesterday. He is a young lad, a young player who plays for Como. He's only 19 years old. Already 2 caps for Senegal, guys. Already 2 caps for Senegal. 25 million euros, though. Now, we know that Como, I believe that Como have come across a little bit of money. I know that they have, but only 25 million euros, guys. A very, very decent player already. A cap for Senegal, of course. He does play a right winger. He can play left winger, and he can play centre forward. Now, you're getting a little bit of a flavour here, isn't it? Man United are looking for versatile attackers that can play on the right, on the left, and up front, and attacking midfielder. So you're going to see a lot of players like this who Manchester United are interested in. Now, Diao is, of course, high on a player high on Man United's radar. Man United are looking in Italy quite a lot. You will see a lot of players who, who play in Italy at the moment, just like Dorgu, just like these type of players who've played in Italy and who play in Italy. And Newcastle United are interested in this player as well. Newcastle United are interested in Diao. Now, look, you know what? This is the big thing. This is the big thing. We are going to have players that we will interest us and will interest other teams. So once we start getting interested in these players, for example, Diao, if we get interested in Asane Diao, Newcastle and the teams like that are going to be interested in him as well. It's only 25 million euros, probably go for around 30 million euros. So that is cheap in regards to that. Not cheap, but cheap, you know what I mean, for Manchester United. And, he's very versatile as well, of course. And it could be a possibility that he could go Newcastle, though, if we're not careful, of course, guys. Absolutely. So that is some big up, Ricardo Diaz. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you, Ricardo Diaz. Let's not forget, we were talking about Trincao. Ricardo Diaz was talking about Trincao a long time ago, my friends. Absolutely. And big props to Ricardo Diaz, who mentioned Trincao a few weeks ago in regards to Portuguese media. It does look like that Ruben Amorim will go after certain players like who he knows there is. But there is that element of possibility that we could be going after the likes of Asane Diao, Maksimovic, these type of players that you haven't really heard of. And of course, we've got the Argentinian player, of course, guys, Supiebra, who is look, I'm very excited about this player. I mean, he's going to cost nothing. He's going to cost nothing, guys. His contract expires in 1 year, and it is 1.2 million euros. I mean, and a player like that, and Maksimovic as well, Andrij Maksimovic, whose dad plays for obviously as well. You know, he is. I like these kind of signings because you know what, it's signings that nobody's heard of. But you know what, whilst time goes on, if we don't act quickly, other teams will be interested in these players. Of course they are. They're going to come. They're going to be interested in these players. Of course, wouldn't be surprised. So, especially when Man United come calling. Of course, Triple M, Real Madrid want Bruno Fernandes for 90 million. Guys, what would you do? What would you do, guys? Look, you know, if Real Madrid came in with a 90 million offer for Fernandes, what would you do? I don't think it's true, guys, by the way. I don't think it's true. I don't think Real Madrid would pay 90 million for Bruno. It is all speculation. But what would you do if Bruno was, we had a bid for Bruno for 90 million? What would you do if that happened? What? I don't know, guys. I don't know. It depends. I mean, that is a lot of money for Man United, but it does depend on who we bring in, doesn't it? Look, I'm going to write a poll, guys. I'm going to write a poll. Absolutely, I'm going to write a poll here. If we had a 90 million offer, right, let's do this. If we had a 90 million offer from Real Madrid, if we had a 90 million offer from Real Madrid for Bruno, should we accept? Should we accept? Yes or no? So I'm going to do this, guys, this poll. If we had a 90 million offer from Real Madrid for Bruno, would you accept? Now, bear in mind, Bruno is over 30 now. Bruno is over 30. So bear in mind, Bruno's over 30. Let's wait. Like, you know what I mean? So 90 million is a lot of money, but I don't think it's true. But let's just play devil's advocate here. Let's bring this poll into the stream and let's see what happens, of course, guys. Absolutely. Jay, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing Amarodion would be a very expensive deal to pull off, not happening. It would be expensive for us. Absolutely, it would be. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but we are linked with him, of course. Good morning, Sal. Ema Barrett to Ema Barrett Shah. Hope you're doing well. Have you having a splendid day? Splendid day. Absolutely. Ema Barrett Shah, big up, of course. Eid, my country is tomorrow. Ema Barrett are all celebrating today. Big up, Matata. Thank you. I won't sell him, but Ineos need money, so I won't be shocked if they sell. This is the whole thing, isn't it? This is the whole thing. It's very interesting comment. Absolutely brilliant to bring into the show. It is a very, very interesting one, if I'm being honest. And look, there's some players I would say, and this is my personal opinion right now. There's some players right now we should just not, we shouldn't be selling anymore. We shouldn't sell, and that's it. You know, and I do believe that Bruno does come into that category. I mean, 90 million is a lot of money for a 31-year-old. It is a lot of money, but I just don't know, because I'm not confident that Manchester United can replace Bruno. I'm not confident. I mean, people will talk to us and they say, well, what about Trincao? I mean, Trincao's a good player, but is he going to be Bruno level player? I mean, we have to be realistic. I know Bruno hasn't really, like, for half of his time this season has not been great. You know, it's since he's had the criticism from Roy Keane is when he started to perform. Surprise, surprise at the end of the day. But it's a very interesting one, of course. Big up, Darkrow. What's going on, you legend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Mods, it's not fair to someone who ain't doing nothing wrong so far. Mods, it's not fair to someone who ain't done nothing wrong so far. Who's that? Who's that? What's going on, Darkrow? At the end of the day. What's going on, Darkrow? Let me know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. At the end of the day, what happened, mate? What happened? What happened, Darkrow? Did someone block you, mate? Let me know. Let me know, Darkrow. I didn't do anything, so let me know, mate. Let me know, please. At the end of the day, guys, don't block anyone. If I told you on the stream, mods have to let me know before you block people, please. Otherwise, mods will be removed from the stream, guys, please. Darko is one of the legends of the chat. I've had Darko on this show for a very, very long time, literally since the summer. Absolutely. Smash the likes. Thank you so much, Charlene. Big up yourself. I don't know, Sal. Not blocked anyone. No, I'm not blaming you, Shah. I'm talking about other people who I don't know. I've only got a few mods, to be fair. I don't know what that is about at the end of the day. I'll find out. Don't worry. Big up, Shah. Sal, have Real Madrid standards dropped if they get a 31-year-old Bruno? I mean, this is why I don't think it's true, Darker. I really don't think it's true. I think it is a little bit of hearsay. I think it's a bit of media spin. To be honest with you, I don't know why they do them sort of things. I mean, Real Madrid are not going to be spending 90 million on Bruno. They've got Vinicius Jr. They got obviously Rodrigo in there. They've also got Bellingham in there. You know, they've got a number of players there. You know, Mbappe and stuff. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, do you really feel like they're going to spend that money on him? I don't know. With this amount, United can buy 2 or 3 good players, but Bruno is one of the few leaders in this locker room. He has a big role model to play in a moment of transition. I agree that Ricardo, there's some things that we have to be careful of, but what the biggest worry I have, Ricardo, is the fact that, you know, Ineos and Jim Ratcliffe are extremely greedy. They might say, wow, 90 million, he's 31. 90 million, they might say that, do you know what I mean? And then, you know what, end up accepting the money. And it would be a disgrace for me. It really would be a disgrace for me. I wouldn't agree with it. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Not me, Sal. All good, bro. Enjoying the content. No, it's just your last comment, mate. Mods, it's not fair. Mods, it's not fair. Absolutely. I don't know what that is about. But anyway, never mind. Absolutely. Kenny, if Real Madrid offer between 90 and 100 million pounds for Bruno, definitely cash in and use the money to get a couple of signings. There you go, guys. That's the democracy at the end of the day. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know, do you? Some people want to cash in. 90 million is a lot of money, guys. 90 to 100 million is a lot of money for Bruno. But we got to look at it, you know, because you got to look at things subjectively, and you know, and obviously we're a democracy on here. We have different opinions and stuff like that. I don't know. I really don't, because we ain't got no leaders, guys. Man United right now, we don't have any leaders in that dressing room. I mean, who is a leader in that dressing room? Let's be real here. You know, who is the leader in the dressing room? It's hard to say, isn't it? We've seen how we are without Bruno. We are worse probably because of leadership. So no, there you go. The only worry I have, Shah, is that would Ineos do it? Would Ineos do it? Would Jim Ratcliffe cash in? And this is the thing: 67% of people so far are saying no. They would not sell Bruno for 90 million. There you go, guys. There you go. Absolutely. 67% so far are saying no. They would not sell Bruno. Absolutely. Look, if we replaced Bruno with a capable player, which I don't think they're going to do, and it's very, very hard to find players on Bruno's sort of mentality, not just level in quality. It's about influence and stuff like that, about captaincy, about, you know, knowing the club as well. It's a difficult one. It is a difficult one. And I'm glad it's more important to show, because it does raise discussion. You know, if we were offered 90 to 100 million for Bruno, would you do it? I mean, it is a difficult one to say. I mean, I'm conflicted. If I'm being honest with you guys, I'm pretty conflicted with it at the end of the day. Big up everyone, of course. But we have to wait and see what happens, of course. But as I said at the top of the show, Manchester United are looking at a number of players. I've mentioned about 5 or 6 players in this show who are on Manchester United's wish list. Scouts were spotted in Serbia looking at Andrija Maksimovic, that player, that young 17-year-old, 2 caps for Serbia. Decent player, already 2 caps for Serbia. Guys, he's 17. Already 2 caps for Serbia. So we're looking at him. Of course, the news about Sami Apkawa, that's another one. Of course, Man United have been interested in the past. There's also Morten Højlund of Sporting Lisbon, who Manchester United have been interested in the past, and it has resurfaced over this last 24 hours. Manchester United scouts were spotted at the Como versus Empoli game yesterday, over the weekend. Looking at Asane Diao. Asane Diao, of course, the 19-year-old Senegalese international right winger or left winger. attacking midfielder, of course. So a lot of news coming out of Man United. There is a lot of stuff coming out of Man United. It's never a quiet day when it comes to us at the moment. There's never a quiet day with Manchester United. There's always going to be this. Now, this leads us up until the summer, guys. This leads us up until the summer. The summer's going to be very interesting indeed. And we will get things we wouldn't expect. We're going to get players we don't expect. We're going to say, where did we get that money from? Or why are we buying such cheap players and stuff like that? It's going to be a lot of ups and downs in this, in the community, in this at Manchester United, etc. And it is a massive summer this summer, of course. Sharp, Sal, I don't like the fact we are going for young, but not a mix of young. And Sal, I don't like the fact we are going for young, but not a mix of young and experienced who nurtured these young players. It is a balance, as I've said on the show before, Sharp. You know, it is a balance. You can't just buy 20 young players and expect things to be perfect. You got to buy some experience. Like I said, the spine of the team, which is the striker, the midfielder, and the defender, and the goalkeeper should be experienced, in my opinion. So the goalkeeper, we got De Ligt. I think we need a new goalkeeper. De Ligt, I would keep as one of the spine. I would keep Ugarte as one of the spine. But we need a striker as well. So I would say that we need a goalkeeper and a striker to improve our spine. Once you've got that spine of the team already there, then you can bring in a few youngsters to scatter around so the spine of the team can nurture the rest of the team, if you know what I mean. So basically, it is a mixture. You do need a mixture. You do need some players. I'm not saying they have to be 33, 34, 25. You know what I mean? 24, 25. Proven players as well need to be brought in as well. Of course, guys, not just 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds. I know it is a lot of pressure to put on these players if they come to Manchester United. Manchester United is a hot cooker of stress and anxiety and pressure because we're expected to win. You know, I don't agree with Ineos about the 5-year plan. I don't think you should put any number on a plan. I don't think you should be doing that. Would Real Madrid, would Barcelona, would Bayern Munich be happy with 5-year plans? I don't think they would, to be honest with you. I don't think you should mention about duration of a plan. You shouldn't be. You should just say, this is our aim. We want to win this. We want to win that. And that is our aim. That is it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But we have to do things properly. We have to do it. Yes, Dorgu has worked so far. Aiden Heaven looks pretty good, doesn't he? So you can get players in there that will improve the team, but you can't just have a team of young players. Even Man United, back during the class of 92, had the likes of Roy Keane, Eric Cantona, Steve Bruce, you know, Gary Pallister, Dennis Irwin, you know what I mean? Andy Cole, these type of players were in the team already. Do you know what I mean? I don't think Standards have dropped. If he wasn't a Man United player, surely he would have been a Real Madrid or Barcelona player. He was highly rated. He was highly wanted by many teams before we signed him. The problem is what I heard before we signed Bruno. We didn't sign Bruno initially, and other teams didn't sign Bruno. The reason they didn't sign Bruno was that he gives the ball away. That was the excuse. The reason teams didn't sign Bruno is because he gave the ball away too much. That was their excuse, right? And that is what I'm hearing, right? That he gave the ball away too much. That's why many teams didn't go after him and didn't pay the money for him. If Bruno wasn't performing like the first 18 months, then 100% I wouldn't be shocked if Real Madrid. The first 18 months, it was really good for us. But what I would say is that we were playing a different formation under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Big up Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, by the way, who's given Galatasaray their first defeat of the season, 2-1 against Besiktas. Besiktas winning 2-1 against Galatasaray. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is killing it over there, by the way. He's killing it in Turkey. I think he's found his place. Must be all that shisha. Must be all those kebabs. I don't know, guys, but it's absolutely beautiful country and a beautiful place to live. And you know what? He's winning. Good. Well played to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, guys. Well played to him. And he's doing very well there. He's slowly becoming a legend over there as well, isn't he? So really good for him. But you know what? In regards to Bruno was wanted by a number of other clubs. But as I said, they were a little bit concerned about his ball playing ability, about giving away the ball. That is what the excuse was why a number of teams didn't sign him. Good for us because he's been relatively, especially in particular, as my guy said, the first 18 months he was very good, but he did have quiet periods. Let's not be delusional here. There has been times when he has gone missing. Right. But then again, you could say that a number of our players have gone missing, of course. Thank you, SLD. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you back, mate. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. Really good to see you, my friend. Back in the house, of course. But there you are, guys. It is subjective. We do have opinions, and a lot of people would sell him. There is 67% of people who say right now that I would sell Bruno. Basically, that's what they're saying, and only 12% say no. So there we go. But that is an interesting one. 90 million on the table. Slap that on the table. You know what Jim Ratcliffe would be rubbing his hands like this, like there. Oh well, 90 million for a player like Bruno who's 31 years old. I wouldn't mind that amount of money. I wouldn't mind that amount of money. Definitely not. Look, guys, you know what? That is probably what happened. You know what I mean? It's just like Kobe Manu, what's going on. And I'm hearing a lot of stories about Kobe Manu. I'm hearing a lot of stories about Kobe Manu about this contract, selling him and stuff like, look, I don't like this. You know, at the end of the day, I don't like this type of rumors. Do you know what I mean? I really don't. I mean, what's going on here, guys? You know what I mean? Shah, do you think Frimpong will be the Bruno sort of signing that will be very transformative to this side as a right wing back, just like Bruno was in his 18 months? Shah, absolutely good point, mate. I think Frimpong will be an absolutely fabulous signing for Manchester United. We are in competition for Frimpong. Other teams want Frimpong around Europe, including Liverpool, of course, who want Frimpong. So it's going to be very difficult for Man United to bring Frimpong in, especially if we're not in the Champions League at the moment. As I said yesterday, Man United are around 40% chance of qualifying for the Champions League. We're not in a good position right now, guys. And so if Liverpool went after Frimpong, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be difficult. Then we're going to have to look at Roger Fernandes. Roger Fernandes again. You know what I mean? You snooze, you lose. Other teams are interested in Roger Fernandes as well now. So it's looking at Roger Fernandes' price as well. It's a lot of teams are going to be in for him. You know what I mean? Because he's cheap. Even if Bruno used to annoy sometimes, no point selling him. He's vital for it. I agree, SLD. I mean, this is the overriding result of the poll, is that no one would sell him. Because at the end of the day, what we would say is that, yes, it's a lot of money, but who are we going to get to replace him in regards to experience? Right now, we don't really have anyone in our squad right now you can look at and say, he's the guy. Maybe De Ligt. Maybe you can look at De Ligt and say, yeah, he's a captain material. But on an attacking front, who's going to take the game by the cojones and just go after the game? Do you know what I mean? Who knows? If he was 6 or 7 weeks ago, it would possibly be 50-50 because of his recent return. For absolutely, Shalom. And why have those performances happened? Because of Roy Keane's criticism. Roy Keane criticised him, then coincidentally, his performances rise. Now, I don't want players who do that. I want players who don't need other people to criticize them for their performances to rise. It's good these performances have risen, but I don't want players whose performances only rise because they've been criticized by a legend. You should be ready, fit and ready for Man United every single week. And you know what? Anyway, it's good for us. He's performing well, and I hope he brings that into the business end of the season, as they used to call it, innit? We got the Europa League coming up. We got some massive games coming up, guys. Really have. We got obviously starting with day after tomorrow. We got Nottingham Forest, and don't forget, guys, tonight I'm on doing I'm doing the match preview between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. Going to be interesting. Some good games we've had against Nottingham Forest over the years. I would still not have sold him when it was 6 or 7 weeks ago, wouldn't you, Sean? Even for 90 million. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. UK Darren, Bruno. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be going anywhere. And I think this fan base will have an absolute meltdown if Bruno left the football club right now. Absolute meltdown. I would like to see a team that has been built by Ruben Amorim, right? That has more of Ruben Amorim's players with Bruno in it. And I would like to see that team work together. I really do. Because I'm excited to see what Ruben Amorim can do. I really am at the end of the day. Having Bruno consistent for the rest of the season so far, especially for absolutely. We're not going to win the Europa League without Bruno, Shah. Without Bruno, we're not going to win the Europa League. I mean, at the end of the day, Bruno is the only one in our squad right now who can come out with something a little bit special. Do you know what I mean? So I would say that, if Bruno got injured, God forbid, touch wood, right? Or something like that, and he was unable to play in the Europa League, we're not winning the Europa League. We could just sayonara, signed, sealed, delivered. That's it. It's gone at the end of the day. And I would say that, it's very vital for us, especially this season. This season is very pivotal. Darko, if we don't get a sell on 90 minutes, then it means we don't have faith in Amram to find a suitable replacement. It's not that I don't have the faith in Amram, Darko. It's the fact that I don't have the faith in Ineos. Amram's not the only one choosing players. I don't have the faith in Ineos to pick the right player. If we go after a player, let's say Trincao, right? We get rid of Bruno and Ruben Amram's already earmarked Trincao. He's already said Trincao, hasn't he? There you go. And if he doesn't get back to Trincao, that's not Amram's fault, is it? At the end of the day, that is the Ineos, that is Jim Ratcliffe, that is Wilcox, that's Barada, that's their fault at the end of the day. We will get Roy Keane to criticise Onana. Maybe he will perform. Onana's era fixable. I don't think Onana can be fixed. I really don't, SLD. I think Onana is Onana. Onana's a bozo. And, he comes out with that, of course, at the end of the day. He just comes out with those thoughts. 90 minutes in the Glazers' pocket. Absolutely, Darren. That's what's going to happen. 90 million in the Glazers' pocket. At the end of the day, I believe in Ruben Amram. I believe Ruben Amram can find the replacement for Bruno. Absolutely. I mean, isn't this the Ruben Amram who made Quenda? Isn't this the Ruben Amram who made Gutierrez? Is that not correct? Isn't this the Ruben Amram who revitalized Hjulmand? Is this the Ruben Amram who made Diomande? Is this the Ruben Amram who made Inacio? Guys, is this the Ruben Amram who revamped Trincao's career? Is this that same Ruben Amram? You know what I mean? Absolutely. There are reports that Inacio is available at discount 30 million and leading the packet. Absolutely. But there's a number of reports about Man United and left-sided centre-backs at the moment. Of course, I was mentioning a couple of left-sided centre-backs yesterday. But I think that I'm very happy with Aiden Heaven. I think we have a very good player there. It would be great to get a Nacho. It depending what happens with Licha Martinez, to be honest with you. If Licha Martinez... Look, I'm a little bit worried about Licha Martinez, guys. I really am. I'm a little bit worried about Licha Martinez and a little bit worried about his injury record. I think that the thing with Licha Martinez is that he does put his foot in where it hurts. He really does. And he's always prone to get injuries. He's one of my favorite players. He really is. And over the last 12 years. And it's unfortunate the injuries. But if we can't keep Licha Martinez fit, Jay, then I think that Naxio will be a good signing. I really do. But there are a number of players. Ineos will pocket 50 million, 90 million for Bruno. Business, absolutely SLD. I agree. Shah, plus, would Amram want to sell Bruno? I don't think so. No, he won't. I think he loves him, even with Dalot, even though he should go, in my opinion, but can stay as a squad player. I would like Dalot as a squad player, Shah, but if we get offered 35 million, I would sell Dalot. And that is my opinion, guys. I would sell Dalot if we got offered 35 million for him. Because I would bring in Roger Fernandez, of course, but... Guys, to save us, look, at the end of the day, we're going to have to, if we get rid of Dalot, we're going to have to replace him because we're going to have two wing backs. So at the end of the day, I would say that Roger Fernandez replacing Dalot. But at the same time, we have to look at things a little bit balanced in regards to is Roger Fernandez as good as Dalot? Is he, you know what I mean? We have to have that conversation, guys. At the end of the day, he's highly rated, a high prospect. But we also have to sign players that are going to improve Manchester United. Look, Dalot hasn't been good by all means, of course. Ricardo, Ian Seberber was a kid associated with United Argentina left foot. Yes, yes, my friend. Absolutely brilliant player. I spoke about him earlier in the show, Ricardo. Earlier in the show, I spoke about him. Very, very good player. We're going to have to fight competition for this player, though, at the end of the day. It is only, guys, Cabrera, of course, guys, is only 18 years old, only about 1.2 million euros, guys. Very, very affordable as well, guys. And, Man United have got to do something in regards to that quick. I take Trincao ahead of Dibbling, understands Amra's system, Premier Proven, when left on his contract, cheaper. I wouldn't get Dibbling. I wouldn't get him, especially not for the quotes that have been quoted in the media. The media have been quoting some ridiculous prices for Tyler Dibbling in a relegation Southampton side. He hasn't really saved Southampton, has he, at the end of the day? Any injury updates? Good news, UK Darren, in regards to injury. Maguire is back in training. Luke Shaw is back on grass. Mason Mount could be playing. He could be on the bench again for Manchester United. Mainu's not quite ready, unfortunately. Ahmad back on the grass. Great news, guys. I think that Ahmad might be a little bit soon. And what I'm hearing is that Ahmad will take another week or 2 weeks to be ready, which is great for Man United because Man United have Europa League football coming up, and we need to, of course, start resting him for that. As I said yesterday to someone on the stream about how important Ahmed can play, the important part that Ahmed can play. Imagine it's 0-0 in the Europa League final, right? It's 0-0 in the Europa League final. Garnacho goes off injured, for example, and then we got Ahmad to come on. I mean, it's so much more, confident. It makes you so much more confident, does it? But lots of things coming up. Luke Shaw has got a brain strain. Luke Shaw, thinking about his comeback, sprained his brain, and he's not going to be playing the next couple of games. He sprained his brain. That is it. That's the only part of his body that hasn't been injured yet. Do you know what I mean? Well, subject to popular belief. Anyway, big up, of course. Yeah. So he sprained his brain. He won't be back. But in all honesty, he is back. He is back to fitness and stuff like that. So not fitness, but he is on the grass. Hopefully, he's playing on grass and he's not doing other things with grass. Hopefully, guys. Hopefully, he's playing on grass and he's just playing on grass. Exactly. Shah, I've been seeing mixed reports. Ahmad is back in the grass? Absolutely, he's back on concrete. No, he is back, mate. He's back on grass. He's not ready. He's not fit. He has to be match fit as well. Ruben Amorim is very, very big on, match fitness. And he's very, very strong on fitness. And I think that's a good thing because over the last few years, we've rushed players back. And these players have ended up getting long-term injuries, and it ends up being a continuation, a domino effect of injuries that happen, of course, guys. Absolutely. But yeah, let's have a look at this. 1 second. Okay, So it is a little bit of good news for Manchester United. It is good news for Manchester United. It is a little bit of good news, of course. Is he back in the grass? He's back on the grass. He's training separately, Shah, but he will be back late April. As I said months ago, he will be back in the late of April, the end of April. I said it months ago that he will be back end of April, and hopefully he'll be back end of April, and all being well, everything will be okay. Our fitness department is, that's probably why Amorim is having to prioritize match fitness. Yeah, we don't have a very good record when it comes to the fitness department. We have a very, very poor fitness department. That is pretty obvious, isn't it? Over the years, we've had too many injuries, of course. Of course, guys, over the years, we've had way too many injuries, and it is no coincidence that it keeps happening. It is no coincidence, in my opinion, but hopefully it will improve. Hopefully it will improve under Ruben Amorim's stewardship. It will improve, and some of these players will stay fit for longer than a couple of weeks. Now, what are the odds in Shaw and Mason Mount getting injured again in the next month or two? What are your odds, guys? At the end of the day, absolutely. What are the odds in Mason Mount and Luke Shaw getting injured again? I mean, you wouldn't put your house, or you wouldn't put your, you wouldn't put your mortgage on him staying a month, would you? Both of them. You won't put your mortgage in it at the end of the day, guys. Guys, tomorrow I have a special guest, a friend of the show, Ben Jacobs, the journalist, will be back on the show, guys, tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. Guys, don't forget to get your questions into Ben Jacobs, who's a great, great journalist. Of course, doing a lot of work with Fabrizio Romano as well at the moment. So very, very good to have him back on the show. Guys, absolutely. Mason Mount will play versus City and will pick up an injury in the 13th minute. Oh, there you go, Shah. I'm holding you to that one. Will it be that long? Will it be that long? What's happened? Malasia's on loan, mate. Malasia's on loan at the moment. I ain't been keeping up to date with the loan players, to be honest with you guys. I haven't been keeping up to date with Malasia. I think Malasia is one of the players that'll be out in the summer. I just don't think he's that good. I don't. Guys. Luke Shaw will be injured in training. Yeah, first training session back. Luke Shaw is injured for 2 months. Guys, look, we all know why Luke Shaw is back. We know, guys, don't we? Come on, Dorgu. Diego Leon is coming back, so Luke Shaw is in a bit of a panic at the moment because he's got a couple of players there who are coming into the football club who could outshine him. At the moment, Dorgu is very good. And you know what? He's got to work hard, Luke Shaw, to get back in that team. Look, personally, my opinion, I've always been a fan of Luke Shaw. Guys, people know me, I've been a fan of Luke Shaw. But I think Man United should move on for Luke Shaw. I think that's it. It's over. Man United should move on for Luke Shaw. It's over for me. Luke Shaw, left side of centre-back, whatever. It's just that he's just not fit enough, mate. I feel like we've got Aiden Heaven, we've got Licha Martinez. I would prioritise them, Shaw. I would prioritise those players. And I would prioritise a new player coming in as well. Lenny Yoro as well, of course. So, you know what? I would say that, no, Luke Shaw for me, try and get rid of him. I wouldn't trust him. I don't trust him. And I think that is a big problem at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he can't do any role, mate, at the end of the day. Dorgu's a great sign. Absolutely, Darren. Fantastic signing. Look, I don't deal with absolutes, guys. I don't just absolutely slander people just because I don't like them or I don't rate them or whatever. I do look at things in a subjective manner. I don't look at things from one angle. I look at it from other angles. And I think that Ineos, well, I would say Barada, Wilcox, and Vivel have done very well in bringing Dorgu to the club. Of course, he was not a Ruben Amorim signing. We were after Dorgu in the summer. Very, very strong interest in Dorgu. And he was a Ineos signing. So we have to give credit where credit's due. Dorgu has been a fantastic signing, and as is Hayden Heaven. They've both been good signings. But we can't rely on signings, these type of signings all the time, because sometimes it just won't work out. We do need to get a little bit of experience in there. I think Man United need an experienced striker, absolutely, in there. Absolutely, guys. I think Luke Shaw was try and stay fit, be available for the national team when the season ends. Maybe Shaw, because the World Cup is the end of next season, isn't it? The World Cup is at the end of next season, so I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps himself fit and tries to stay in the England squad. You know what I mean? He's got competition now in regards to the England squad, of course, guys. So, you know, they've got the Arsenal lad there. So at the end of the day, you know, he's going to have to work hard to get back in the England squad now as well. So I would say that, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps himself fit to stay in the World Cup team, the World Cup squad, in my opinion. Does he deserve it? Absolutely not. If he does that, then we know, can kind of read him like a book. You can tell that he's ready. But, you know, at the end of the day, guys, what I would say is that I would say this, guys. We need him this season. We need these players this season. We need Mason Mount. We need Luke Shaw. We need all these players ready and fit for this season because we've got some massive games coming up. We need the more players we got, the merrier. The more players we've got coming back, the merrier. You know, and I would say brilliant because we got the likes of Lyon coming up. We're going to have to beat Lyon to get, and we might have to play the likes of Athletic Bilbao. Athletic Bilbao are going to beat Glasgow Rangers, I think, in my opinion. So that if we do beat Lyon, we'll be playing Athletic Bilbao in the semi-final. We all know that's going to be a difficult game. You know, they're a very good team. And then we got, obviously, whoever we play in the final, which could be Lazio, it could be Tottenham, it could be Frankfurt, it could be Bodo Glimt. I mean, we hope it's Bodo Glimt, but that could happen, of course. Absolutely, Shaw. Absolutely. Absolutely, mate. You know, look, Luke Shaw's looking at Man United right now. He's looking at the left-back situation. He's looking at Dorgu. He's looking at, Diego Leon next season as well. I'm thinking, damn, I better get myself fit. I better get myself fit for this. There you go. Guys, thank you for joining me today. It's been a good show so far. But what I would say is that there will be a lot of interest in players coming up. You will hear a lot of names. I would say this. I like the fact that we're going after young players. I like the fact we're going after young South American players. Subiebre, for example, is another great player, up and coming. This is what Benfica, Sporting Lisbon and other teams have done so well over the years. But what we have to do as well, we do have to think about the spine and we have to think about experience as well. Because buying a load of youngsters is not going to get us to where we want. Absolutely not. Big up, Shah. Thank you, you legend. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, mate. I will be back later on for the match preview between Nottingham Forest, my match preview between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. Of course, Nottingham Forest are pretty good these days, so we're going to have to be very careful. I do believe Man United are going to win the game. I think. What I think doesn't really matter, but, you know, I think we'll win the game. Absolutely do. And I hope that Man United go on getting a little bit of momentum going into the Lyon game. Of course, We have got Man City, Aston Villa coming up as well. Those are other hard games coming up as well for Man United. And no better way to build confidence, to build morale than to win those games. You know what I mean? And who knows what can happen. Jay, if the Indians are true and strong, I hope we push for Jashari. Another one. And there we go. Shah, on poll is 45-55. Let me have a look at the poll, guys. I'll keep forgetting to look at the polls. Let me have a look. Wow, 44-56%, guys. Wow, look, there you go, guys. That is democracy for you. If we had a 90 million offer for Real Madrid for Bruno, should we accept it? 44% have said yes so far. That is madness at the end of the day, isn't it? There you go, guys. There you go. Not everyone agrees. That's democracy that we live in, guys. At the end of the day, it's not all absolute, and it's not every, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. So, yeah. Guys, it's been a great show. Thank you so much for joining. If you haven't subscribed yet, I know you have, but please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm on my way to 10,000 subscribers. And guys, please don't forget to smash a like on the video. I have got some great guests coming in next week, so don't forget to get involved in that. Chatterbox will be later, 2 p.m. UK time, of course, the match preview. So, guys, have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are, and hope to see you later. Put your notifications on as well. So whenever I go live, and you never know when I'm going to go live, guys, you'll know. You'll know firsthand, of course. Have a great day, great night, great evening. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. See you later, guys. Peace.